You know they called me Dig Dug in high school.
Dig Dug? Why?
Why did they call you that?
I don't know.
You didn't dig or dug?
My name wasn't Doug, and I certainly didn't. Definitely shut the fuck up. We haven't made a Doug joke in like 3 seasons.
We could,
but we don't.
Will. I've got you. Patience, Douglas.
Patience, Douglas. Do you have the dream?
No, Mr. Dink, I didn't. Get out of this classroom, mister.
Guys, you had that dream, right?
What dream?
It scared me,
know
dude.
that-
I don't like it.
No, it was when it was kind of like a sepia filter over like my eyeballs.
Mhm.
And then I saw Luffy and Goku and Ichigo from Blige.
Okay, wait, what?
Wait,
They were all picking up manga panels.
Okay.
It was weird. Did anyone else have that dream?
Garb, did you?
in mine, Goku was eating the panels,
Oh,
but same difference.
That tracks.
That's kind of weird. In my dream, they were drawing panels. They were reverse engineering the manga. They were writing our stories.
How good was it?
Oh my god, I would not want to. Oh, actually, yes, I would want to read a manga written by Luffy. That would be amazing.
It ain't gonna sell 1,000 copies. Luffy can't read or write, so I don't know.
Wait a second. He can write, just very poorly.
Yeah, and Goku was kind of fighting the paper. He was like, "Wow, this paper's really hard to break." And then he kind of went at it and got a little distracted. Ichigo did a great job, though. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, he was really just doing his best.
Yeah, he was just hanging in there. I mean,
I think Naruto was there too, but I think he was just yelling at the paper.
He was believing in himself. That's all I know.
He did not believe in the papers, though.
He was believing so hard that he didn't actually start working.
Kid after my own heart. Anyway,
Nice.
Welcome
Hello?
to the Funky Anime Podcast. The guy who had the dream initially, well, that's me, I'm Chuck. The guy who had the dream second and was kind of confused about the similarities, but just wrote it off as something that was like, you told me about it, so then I dreamed about it. Well, that's Garb.
Wait, but I went to sleep after Pino.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pino's the one who's lying and didn't have the dream.
Look, I just wanted to belong, all right? Oh, man.
Welcome to the Funky Anime Podcast. We are the three Weebros. Thank you so much for checking in with us today. Today, we watched the anime Beck. And before we go any further, I would really like to thank all of our patrons. You guys are fucking bangers. I'd like to thank Cream Puff. I want to thank Cosmos, Jasmine, Sid, and Greta. You guys are great. You guys really help us do what we do and, make it viable for us to do it.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, it starts at just $1 a month, and you can, talk to us when we're watching the anime. We have live threads every time that we start a new show, so you can see our live reactions there and talk to us about
Hell
it.
yeah.
So, it's a fun time. So if you enjoy the show and would like to help support us, that's how to do it. And thank you. Dude, this program is supported by viewers like you.
Thank you. I feel like I'm about to watch Arthur after this.
Dude.
That song has that animated series has a good opening. Let's be real.
Dude, it's a banger, dude. And I said, hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
Yeah, man. You can learn to work and play, right?
Oh, it was the anniversary of Mr. Ratburn's gay wedding the other day.
Hey, shout outs to Mr. Ratburn.
Yeah. Good for him.
Dude, I can't wait for the anniversary when Brain gets to the Eiffel Tower wrong. That's always my favorite. I don't know why. And then Mr. Ratburn just kind of looks at him. I'll find the meme.
He's like,
"You're wrong, kid."
Don't worry about it. But as I said before, we watched Beck.
Beck. What a dumb name for a show.
What a fucking stupid name.
Oh, how? By the way, guys.
Yeah.
Had you guys ever heard of this show before? Like, what's popping?
You showed the
you
opening.
Think about it.
You showed the opening
I
to
do.
us.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know how long ago it was originally when you showed it.
A very long time ago.
It must have been, but like I from that point I've kind of kept my eye on it, and by my eye on it I mean we put it in one of our openings, right? I'm pretty sure we did, or we planned to. Did we put it in any one of our openings? I'm guessing. What was that?
Yes, it was last season's. It was them looking at the plane.
Yeah, so I don't forget that scene because I'm just like, we used that. But yeah, no. Other than that, I really didn't look into it as much. I knew Beck was a thing. I knew it was music related, but that's about it. I didn't know what to expect coming into this.
Same.
That's it.
Opening was good, and then I was like, well, I'll watch it someday.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that was, funnily enough, that was me. Despite me knowing about this show for a great many years and having it be on my radar for all that time, never watched it. I recommended it to people, and yet I still did not watch it. I did legitimately recommend this show to people. Even though I had never seen it. Well, it was because they were asking for a very specific music-based anime and stuff like that.
They didn't want to watch Love Live?
Well, Pino, I did my best there.
Okay.
And they were just not receptive to the gospel of Love Live. So
what's wrong with them? Don't they like tomatoes, cats, rice, and bread?
Dude, I love rice.
And then the rest?
Yeah, that's
it. They don't like losing their school. Imagine.
But so I guess this is the first time for everyone, which is exciting. Doesn't happen too often.
It's good when it happens.
Like sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience for everyone. Oh, by the way, how are you guys doing? I completely forgot to ask.
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing pretty good. After watching this, I started watching what's it called? Lupin the Third, the whatever, the one on Netflix. And
which one? The Castle.
Castle of
that movie's solid.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. I actually watched it in Spanish, and my mom and my dad came in and they just started watching with me, and that was cool. I was so hyped. They were really interested. I was like, "What the heck?"
Lupin, we will be watching on the podcast in the future. Just an FYI, but Lupin's. I really love Lupin for how silly it is, but also the legacy behind it.
Dude, I felt like I was missing out. A samurai showed up, and then there was a guy with a hat.
Yep.
And then the blonde girl was like, "Yo, this is cool." Like, I've always wanted to start a Lupin like the right way. I didn't. I started with a movie, but it was still fun.
Well, you can start with it. Like that's definitely one of the places to jump on, because you could jump in like the 1970s anime. That was pretty good. You know, I've watched some episodes of that, but there was also like a pseudo reboot. Not really. It was just like a kind of modern remake. That was made in 2015, I think. They have Lupin the Third, the First, which was the 3D animated movie that just released a couple years ago, which is actually going to be receiving its English debut in theaters.
Nice.
This upcoming, I guess, end of summer, early fall.
I did see some trailers on it. It looks pretty good.
It looks fucking stellar. Yeah, I heard it was really good, so I'm excited to watch that in the theaters in 5 months or whatever. But
also, I wanted to give
I've been reading some manga.
Oh, you've been reading manga? Go ahead, tell us.
I've finished JoJo Part 6.
Oh,
woo! We love me some snails,
dude. Snails.
Boy, what the hell were the snails? And I'm like halfway through Part 7, and holy shit, Part 7
Part 7's goated,
so
bro.
fucking good.
Yeah?
Like, wow. Why? I wish I would have just skipped a whole bunch and just went to part 7.
You gotta read them all in order, though.
No, you can skip parts 5 and 6. That's fine.
No, wait a second.
Wait a second. Well, part 5 is just okay, but the manga, I didn't finish reading part 5. I've read 1 through 3. I read part of 4, but the official English translation wasn't all the way done, and I was like, no, done. And then, so I actually tried to read part 5 first, and then I just never went back to it. And then I just skipped. I was like, I've already watched the anime by now. I'll watch part 6, or I'll read part 6. And read part 6, and I was like, well, I need more manga. Went on to part 7, and my mind was blown.
Mm-hmm. It's good shit.
Mm-hmm. So I should report back, hopefully, whenever I've finished that.
Nice.
It's muy bueno. I haven't read that in a couple of years, so I'll need... I keep saying that about, like, all the manga. Like, before I was talking about rereading one... Well, I did reread Haikyuu recently.
Nice.
Because Haikyuu is, like, the best manga ever written, so that's fine. And did a bunch of other stuff. So, it's good, regardless. Good stuff all around. Reading the manga, reading the anime subtitles, you know, the whole 9 yards. And anything else before we kind of get moving on it?
Yeah, they're taking off Silent Voice off of Netflix.
Really?
It's leaving June the 4th. So if you want to watch it,
I guess I fucking watch it, bro.
Yeah, just watch it.
Well, actually, will this come out? This will be out 2 days before it gets taken off. So if you're listening to this Wednesday or Thursday, go
watch it
if you haven't watched it already, or just rewatch it like I did.
Yeah, man, I gotta rewatch it again. That's
yeah.
Anyways, just wanted to share that I was just scrolling through Netflix after a little bit and entered Big Sad.
Don't we all?
You have 2 reasons to cry after watching it.
Oh yeah, I'll never get to see it on Netflix again. Also, please excuse my horsey voice. I'm gonna be in and out of smooth, silky smooth voice and adolescent preteen voice. So
and Crunchy Boy.
Yeah, dude. Shout outs to Crunchy Boy.
That's you. So let's start talking about Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad, shall we?
Let's go ahead.
But why the long name?
Well, sheesh. We'll get to it.
Why they name it Beck?
What a stupid name.
Dude,
we'll get to it. So Beck is an anime which aired in fall 2004.
What? You made me watch an old ass. Oh wait, I made you watch an old ass anime. You're good.
Yeah. Which was animated by Madhouse and licensed by Funimation, so hence it's a Funimation dub. We'll talk about that in a bit. And we've seen Madhouse before. I feel like every time we talk about it, we're like, it's you know who Madhouse is. They did Death Note, they did One Punch Man, they did Hunter x Hunter, they did Death Parade, they did No Game No Life. They've done quite enough to let you know that's gonna be a good time.
Some of their early stuff, I didn't even think about looking up who did this one. It was
yeah. Well, like I guess I need to actually check what came out right before, because I'm trying to think, because I know that what was it? It was Cardcaptor Sakura. They did that in 98, so this was 6 years after that. I'm doing my quick little mouse search just to see where this kind of fits into the canon of Madhouse.
Hell yeah.
Where the fuck is Beck? Okay,
I think most people know them by One Punch Man season 1.
I don't know, man. They did fucking Death Note.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Like they did Death Note. They did Hunter x Hunter 2011. They did No Game No Life. So they have a strong resume.
Yeah. So that's why when we say it was Madhouse, it was what you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then Black Lagoon actually came out like a year and a half after this. So
They've got a lot of like genres under their belt. Jeez, like I'm surprised every time I hear Madhouse and I remember, oh yeah, it's Black Lagoon. Oh yeah, it's Shonen.
Oh yeah, Trigun. Oh yeah, Ore Monogatari. Oh yeah, Hajime no Ippo. They've done everything under the sun.
Shit,
so might as well put a music anime into that shit.
Right.
And
here we
also, fall 2004. Some actually interesting things going up against, because this anime season was actually the start of the Bleach anime.
Hey.
As well as School Rumble, which we had just watched a couple episodes ago. And that's really it. Naruto and One Piece and Monster were all running at that point, and Bobo was running at that point, but the three big ones at least that we'd seen, and then also Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Hey, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Generation Next. Game on.
I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's kind of blows.
Hey man, it's not magic, dude.
There's too many cards. They don't rotate out any cards.
It's all right. Just
so bad.
Just believe in them. Don't worry.
But just
believe.
But there's like remember 10,000 legal cards.
There's no pathetic cards in that deck. Don't worry. This card is useless.
My grandpa only put the best cards in this deck. This card is useless. But so now that we've given a little bit of history, so let's talk about the presentation. I feel like this is kind of one of the rough spots for Madhouse.
The ugly
animation wise. I like stylistically it's kind of muted. I guess it's probably due to the kind of like grungier theming, like it's a rock based show and they're trying to do all these things, but I don't know. It, especially with us I've seen stuff like Cardcaptor Sakura, and we've seen stuff like Trigun, which released 6 years before that, and then just like a year and a half later we had Black Lagoon, and like within relative closeness. So a little bit more critical on this, kind of an uglier show, muted palettes, some 3D animation for the guitar and hand playing, which I can deal with at this point just because
it worked.
It's either get that or very shitty guitar like animations that aren't like, even remotely detailed enough. So I'm okay with it. Like still some good animation, still some kind of crappy animation at times. So it's about average. I wasn't offended by it, but I wasn't wowed by it. It was a very kind of average animated show.
Upon just like looking at it from the outside, I was just like, this is one of those just like, it's not going to be very fantasy like. It's just going to be kind of awkwardly grounded in reality. They had kind of like, I don't know, they weren't as like, I guess, cartoonish as other types of shows. Like you mentioned, it is I guess more based on the whole like rock scene, and like I guess more based on realism, which I did like, but again some of these faces were a little hard to look at, and some of these angles as well. I felt like not to mention, despite this is still the presentation, so like not to mention some scenes that linger on too long. I don't know if that was just a technique used back in the day to fill time, or if they just forgot to animate something. But some images just lingered on far too long, and then the next scene started, or the next dialogue thing was said. So
that's what I did. That's. Oh, sorry.
It didn't really help, but I didn't know where I was going with that. You're good. What were you saying, Garb?
So that's one of the reasons that I switched over to the dub, is that there were like these really weird pauses, like specifically like after the English dialogue in the original sub.
Oh my god!
It was just it was strange.
Nobody calls me Baka.
Yeah.
Pause.
That was,
and then
oh my god! But so
it was fine in the dub. I didn't notice that ever again, because they mix up the timing. But apparently, like you were telling us about like how the manga was a lot more expressive.
Yeah, well, from some things I've seen, I have not personally read the manga, even though I think I own the entire thing. I haven't read it yet, but it seems to be more comedic, a little bit more expressive with some of the reactions from certain characters. I bet, especially like Chiba, who's already kind of loud and in your face, would probably have more of a feel to that sort of vibe, and a bunch of other different aspects. So I feel like because Pino was actually talking earlier about kind of the rock scene vibe and that sort of thing. I felt like they were going for a slightly more serious, a slightly more like grungy tone with the visuals and how it was presented. You know, kind of take it a little bit more seriously. Don't like do too much with it. Because like even with like the sort of fantastical parts with like the dreams and like how Beck is a zombie dog, like it's still like treated with some sort of like realism without it being like, ooh, it's the spirit of rock. So I felt like the presentation fits what I feel the show was going for, but it still doesn't excuse the fact that it was kind of meh in that department. Like the backgrounds were meh. Don't remember anything about that. So
yeah, it was either school, home, recording studio, or bar, or like concert.
Yep.
But they made up for it in other ways.
Oh yeah,
fantastic soundtrack. You know.
Yeah, do not take this as us being, hey, this isn't a good show, because we're getting to let's go to the voice acting first.
Yeah.
Let's because I think every one of us watched the first couple episodes subbed and swapped over to the dub, right?
Yep.
Yeah, man. It was weird. I wanted to try this one subbed first just because, change of pace. I always seem to choose the dub sometimes or most of the times. And I was like, let's listen to it. I think they did a good job. I just don't think they were able to sell the characters like for me in this case. Like they weren't very, I don't know, I didn't feel any like passion, or like not passion, but like I didn't feel like, I guess it just didn't resonate. It just like something was missing from the sub that the dub actors really got, like that really they understood and they got, and I just felt like they were just more real characters in the dub as opposed to,
or at least to our dumb American brain.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like again, if I spoke Japanese, maybe I'd understand performance a little differently or something. But I don't know. There was just something about the English dub and the voicing and even the singing that were just like that just hit this time around.
Yeah, it was even though I bet there's probably better performances as they go on, but I watched the first 3 episodes subbed, and I just didn't feel like anything for any of the characters. There was no connection. It all felt like all the performances felt flat to me. There was no standout. There was nothing that like really interested me in this show. It was just, and I was like, oh boy, is it going to be one of these types of shows? But when I swapped over to the dub, had a much better time. It was a Funimation dub, so all the tried and trues are here. We got some Johnny Young Bosch in here. We got we got Greg's Aris for the main character,
Brina,
and we got Eric Vale for Ryusuke, Trunks and all those guys. So very solid early Funimation dub, which I kind of love. I kind of really love the early funny dubs. Just having the same group of like 20 people doing the dub is very fun.
And again, this was a time when in the dubs they would actually go out of their way and translate some songs, albeit I'm pretty sure these songs were already translated to begin with, or I'm assuming some of the songs were already sung in English, but just having that brought me at least back to a sense of nostalgia when Funimation did go that extra mile and just like translate everything. The shows, the songs didn't hit as much, but I think for some reason these songs just like, I feel like out of all the dub series I've seen with music or songs attached to them, I think they were amazing in this one. They're like top tier. Like if you cringe at singing in American dubbed for Japanese like animation, this one is like the one standout. Like there's like no contest. I prefer listening to the dub rather than the sub.
Yeah, I would recommend, especially if you're a native English speaker specifically, I would recommend the dub. Because like Ryusuke, he said at the beginning have lived in the U.S. for so long that his English was better than his Japanese. Did not come off at all during the sub performance. That was like the Japanese performance was just like the English performance from the Japanese voice actors was not great. But I guess they were also, trying to get a voice actor who could speak English and who could sing and like do that sort of stuff. So it was kind of a long list, and they probably just said, "Fuck it."
It's kind of hard to find someone that fits those qualifications. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like they did what they could with it. But definitely would prefer dub over sub, at least for this show. So let's talk about that OST.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Go for it, Garb.
Go for it.
I mean, it's just fantastic. There's not a bad song, and they all hit super hard, and you get, like, full-length performances. And you just don't see this a whole lot. And there's a lot of really candid performances where, like, you can hear them, like, not hold the strings down all the way and kind of fuck up a little bit. And it's just refreshing because, like, another show we've watched that's kind of musical, not Love Live, but K-On! Like, in K-On!, Ui is just like an idiot savant that magically knows how to play guitar. But you actually have to see this kid struggle and, like, figure shit out.
Hell yeah, man. I love seeing them, like, initially
yeah.
fall in love with music and then just trying to learn all that stuff. I don't know, it's just interesting to watch that. It's great.
Yeah, and you get to hear it play out. Like, the audio contributes to the story there.
Yeah, they even during, I think it was the second to last episode, they make a point to listen to, like, the recording of their first performance, and you can even hear it, like, the difference between that and, like, what you hear later in the anime.
That was wild. I was like, really? They sounded like this? I thought they sounded pretty good at the beginning.
Yeah, right? I thought they fucking slapped, bro. And it's like, no, they did not.
No, you've also learned. Oh my god. But no, that soundtrack's outstanding, dude. I had to look it up again. It's great.
Yeah. Because the OST itself, like the backing music, the background tracks were okay. I don't, like, remember, like, any of them. Like, but also I guess that, especially with having full, like, vocal songs and everything like that, they're gonna fall by a wayside, So
I want to say, and it might be my memory playing tricks on me, but I want to say that maybe some of the scenes might have omitted, like, music at all, because, like, I feel like what my mind is always, at least for this show, has been full focused on is, like, when they actually perform their next song or when they actually practice the music. I feel like my ears, like, everything else, like the background songs, if there were any, were just white noise at that point. So unfortunate, because, like, again, the insert songs and everything else is fantastic. I'm gonna go out on a limb to say I still think the OST is solid. Not solid enough to be memorable in this case because I can't remember anything at the moment. But I don't think that's a detriment because of the treats that we get with the other songs sprinkled in between.
Well, because you do mention that they definitely did omit music from a lot of these sort of things and went for more ambient noises, like especially on the street scenes and in crowds. There's a lot of times where they just do not use music. And I feel like it's also a really smart choice because
it would get hard to tell.
This anime is based on music. So it's smart to not have music in some parts because that's, like, you're already getting
sensory overload, bro. Man, but I think they handled it well. I think so.
Oh, for sure. I do think though that the because I have listened to some of these original Japanese performances for the music. Still prefer the English.
Wow.
Ones.
That doesn't happen too often.
It's just, I guess it also might just be something that it's like, oh, I'm used to this one now, so this is what I like want to do. But it's also the point it's where it's just like, I just feel like the performances are better. I feel like it works better, and it just sounds more real to me. So it is what it is. So, now that we've gotten those out of the way...
Hey, is it time?
It's time to talk, to see if you want to hit in America.
Dude, I was made to hit in America, dude.
So, the one and only opening is called Hit in the USA, which I don't know why it's not just called Hit in America, but by Beat Crusaders. And it's a banger. There's a reason I would send this and listen to this on my own, because it is a fucking banger of an opening.
Jeez, I don't think I skipped this once. Not at all.
No,
I wanted to because I needed to catch
once.
up, but nah, dude, I had to listen to it all the way every time. It's too good, dude.
It's so
it's a
good,
no skip.
man.
No skip.
You ain't alone. It is very funny though. From when I watched it, the song actually had subtitles, and some of these lyrics are like, oh my goodness, you ain't no lonely, and like
oh yeah, I misunderstood all of the lyrics.
Oh my god, yeah.
What were we saying earlier? Something about a priest.
Oh no, that I just made that up on the spot.
I thought you did that. I was like, you madman. I like that lyric. Dude, into the world for priest.
But it's weird, like seeing what it was actually meant to be. Well, it still works. It's still fine. It's good.
I think it works. It flows for oh
the
my singers.
God, yeah.
It's, I don't know. There's something about this man's voice that I enjoy so much. It's rough. It's gruff. It's low. It's something I wish I could sound like.
It fits the show. It fits the grittiness and kind of like, I keep saying grunginess, but like that's kind of how I feel about it. Just kind of the roughness of the show, and I feel like this matches it perfectly.
I think that the directors would lean into that and agree with you, because I mean they showed a fucking picture of Kurt Cobain. I think that was in one of the endings.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I think it really looks like that's what they were going for.
I hope so, because I'd look like a fucking fool if they weren't.
Yeah.
And you know what? I guess like the music aside, I think the opening also is pretty solid animation wise.
Oh yeah.
It opens up with like the 3D, right? Like I'm not mistaken, right? Those are like 3D like signs and like posts.
Yep.
I thought like I had a double take like several times. I'm like, this is hand drawn, right? No, this is like 3D animated. And it's not jarring. Again,
like some the things on the signs themselves are drawn on, but they're put on 3D spaces, but it still works and like feels so good.
I remember our rule of thumb here on the Funky Anime podcast. If it's an inanimate object, probably use 3D.
That's okay.
You're okay. You're fine.
Well, we'll give you a pass, and it works. No,
man,
no issues.
Dude, you know what I want? I'm thirsty. I want some cocoa.
I did see that.
It made me giggle every
funny.
time, dude. Cocoa.
Yeah. But yeah, the opening matches the style of the show. It's basically a showcase of America, or like, the typical America. It's them going through Las Vegas, or what all these signs are like supposed to symbolize, or at least as far as I can tell, because it's all casinos and things like that. And then you see all the band members coming together, which I assume this is them from the end of the show,
Probably.
or like they're in the U.S. tour, and that's because you see this particular diner that they show in some of the pictures in the last episode, and then it has the highest quality animation in the entire fucking show with them singing and bobbing their heads along.
Shiba
with the
moving
music,
his hips side to side, dude.
For real,
it is so good. Like, this animation is so good.
I know, man. I sometimes I just go back just to see those close-ups. It's like so well. I don't like, they were just built on something else that day. They said, let's make it look good.
Yeah, and like, especially even when they're singing like on the tarmac at the airport, you can get the characterization, because like, you see Chiba really moving around, but you have Koyuki, who's not moving at all, basically just slightly nodding, so you get a little bit of that kind of emotion with them. And it's just, but then when they're looking at the plane, you see Koyuki kind of like looking and following it with his eyes, which is super nice. And there's some like really subtle touches, and then we got the hand claps, and man, it's good. And then they have a shot of them, of the driving. And then they have New York City. They show the Chrysler Building. They show 41st Street, because it is 41 ND.
Dude, 41 did.
40 Fern.
Dude, Front Street.
Yeah, and then they have like Masonmons or something, or Asamons, like Amazon. And it's
dude, like, Asmon.
Yeah. So I do. I do love what's her name's I love Maho's Jesus is Coming shirt. Dude. Always got a giggle out of me when I saw that. But it's good. I really like this opening. Animation wise, it's solid, the best the show has to offer, I feel like. And song just like really elevates it. I think without the song it would be a very like subpar / average. Yeah. But
song really carried it. And when the best part is no spoilers and for like story things, or like it's great. I basically equate this to like a music video, just like something you'd see back in the day, like in the like early 2000s. Phew, if I got that right this time, like in that era of like MTV, when they actually showed music on MTV and whatnot. So I like it. It's just a good old music video opening. I love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I guess it is just a music video, huh?
Yeah, man.
Huh.
I feel like that was kind of the goal for that, so I feel like it worked.
I just expect like at the bottom corner, like the credits to show up, like like in the good old days. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sorry, this opening slaps.
It's a banger. So anyway, let us now go into the endings. There's actually 3. So first, the most standard of the 3 is My World Down by Meister, which was the first 20 episodes.
Another minute.
Just images, once again, very rough sound. Sounds like something if you went to like a dive bar back in the early 2000s, you'd hear this. So very grungy. I keep saying it, but it's a grungy sound. It's very rough, but it's a good one. It's a slideshow, but once again, since this show is so like focused on music, I feel like it works well enough regardless, just having like all these pictures of artists doing all these things. So I liked it.
Listen, I love me some grunge, man.
Yeah,
my mom played Alice in Chains for me when she was pregnant with me. I was born into it.
I'm born from it. You merely adopted the rock. Hey, I like it. I'll be honest, I did have to skip it mostly because I did prefer the opening, but I like the visuals and the different styles it has. It's a trip and a half. You should definitely just like take the time to enjoy the song and enjoy the visuals. Again, I'd say this is like another kind of unique-ish music video-ish kind of ending for you too. Shout out to Kurt.
And also like the very stylized art, which I appreciate.
Absolutely.
So it's good stuff. Not really much else to say on this one though.
Here's a brain teaser. Did Courtney Love kill Kurt Cobain?
Yes. Next
question. Shoot, I wish I knew what you're talking about. Next question.
It's we'll talk about it another time. I'll explain it.
I'm too young for that.
That's not kosher for this podcast. So for ending 2 is "Moon on the Water" by Swolui, but that's in the sub. The dub, they have the voice actor for Maho sing it, who's Brina Palencia. Mm-hmm. And she, it's a good one.
I love her voice.
It's integrated into the show. You actually hear about the song before, and then when it comes to the ending, I'm like, oh yeah, it feels nice.
A chill one, especially for some of those last episodes, which do bring up the tension. I was surprised.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting things to get a little like heavy and like hard there.
Yeah, I like the difference because there is a little bit of heightened tensions a bit for those last couple episodes. So having this as to cool you down a little bit is really solid. I really enjoyed it. And this, like I've spoken before about how I really do enjoy when Funimation does this sometimes. Well, did this? They don't fucking do it anymore. But
no, they do it for Dragon Ball sometimes.
Yeah,
only sometimes. Yeah. I think they didn't do the openings for Dragon Ball, did they?
No, they did. Yeah, they still did the openings.
Nate Wants to Battle did the second one.
Yeah, the Turn of the Power dude.
So they'll do it for Dragon Ball, but that's it.
Yeah.
Well, because
shame.
Like the ending specifically, I feel like usually work really well. I talked about this majorly in Yu Yu Hakusho, which I feel like the dub singing was better than the sub for the endings, at least. The openings are kind of unequal footing there. But so Moon on the Water it's a good one.
Dude.
It's solid, no crazy visuals, just kind of nature. But it very somber. Really, really sets a solid mood.
Dude. Gently in the night, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta listen to that song fully too. I gotta listen to that. All these songs, I'm just gonna keep saying that throughout the episode. Damn,
they're good, dude.
Very good.
It's a very solid vocal performance by everyone involved in the dub cast.
Heck yeah.
And then finally, the third ending theme, which was for the last episode, is "Slip Out" by the in-universe band Beck / Mongolian Chop Squad. Which we've heard it before, but it's nice to hear a full thing. And I think it's good.
Shout out to Crocodile being panned out slowly in that ending, which technically isn't an ending, but
I still do, even with this one, because I'm listening to the sub right now while I'm talking about it. Still think that the dub performance is just way better. Because it's just them trying to like sing English and still a little bit harder to understand, but
I do like the kind of ring it has, at least for this one. You know what I like though about the visuals, despite it just being a zoomed out image, I can't tell if it's real or not. Sometimes I can tell if
it does. It is like it looks like it's like it's like painted over an image.
Exactly.
Like it feels like that uncannily like close to a real place like that you could go to, like we all kind of know this location in like kind of a bigger city, but this place has been here for fucking years and it's usually like not that full most of the time, but sometimes there's like something going on in there and that also vibe of it being like midnight and only being illuminated by the street lights and like whatever fluorescence they have nearby. So I really do like it.
Probably is painted over, you're right.
Yeah, I would think so, but you never know, right?
Because those cars in like the other images that like follow the one angle, they look kind of just like they look like they belong, like in like an actual street corner there. Even the stop, the walking man symbol, just I don't know, just looks like it. Like the pole itself just looks like it's not even an image sometimes.
It looks good.
Yeah. So shout outs to these couple of images.
Shout out.
And just like the song says, this image makes me scared because I don't know if it's real or not.
Makes me uncomfortable.
I'm scared.
Oh, So anything else before we get moving on? We'll probably talk about the music more anyway, because that's
it'll come up.
I just want to
kind of central to the show.
I just want to hit in America, bro.
Dude, I do want it. Guys, this podcast was made to hit in America.
Dude, let's go, dude. What kind of name is Fat?
You said guys, we're gonna have to rename it for our Japan tour.
Dude, that's the name of our Dutch Charlie. His name is Fat. Hey, Fat, are you okay? You made me worry.
Are you okay? I don't fucking that. Oh man. Anyway, let's do some look over about the plot, because this mainly follows Koyuki, who's the main character for the most part. He is at when we meet him, he's a 14-year-old 8th grader.
Wild.
Which is bizarre that they start so young with this. And like at the start, the oldest character who like are like in the band and that we become intimately familiar with is Ryusuke, who was 16 at that point. And it's kind of crazy how they're this young and yet so doing their stuff. So basically what we do is that Koyuki is just living his life, but he's like, man, life sucks. I got nothing. I'm like, man, dude, whack.
Oh.
But he is out with his friends, and then they see a dude's car that just got keyed to hell, and the guys who were in the car were like threatening, and they're like, hey, we'll fucking kill you. Don't call me Baka. And nobody calls me Baka in this town.
Dude.
And Ryusuke's like, hey, you come over here. Don't fight. and then he gets the shit kicked out of him. And so this is Koyuki and Ryusuke meet, and Ryusuke was part of the band with a guy named what even was
his name? Was Eddie Lee, right?
John? Eddie
Lee, was that his name? The guy who shows up later?
I think so. Yeah. Eddie, who is now in a big band called Dying Breed. So that's the connections.
Is that a reference to anything, or is that just like a...
I don't know. You could say like Eddie Van Halen or some bullshit like that, but I don't know, at least particularly, if that's a reference to anything.
Gotcha. Just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like an actual like band name. Just has that ring to it, Dying Breed.
Yeah. You got it. But so then Ryusuke's like, hey, come see my band perform live, and then we see Ryusuke, but then we also see is it Izumi? Izumi's a girl. What's that other dipshit's name
Chiba?
Who doesn't really matter?
Oh, the redhead guy?
Yeah, redhead guy,
yeah.
Pretty boy, AG. And they were in a band, and then at the end of the episode, they're like, we're not doing a band. I'm going to make the ultimate band. No, I'm going to make the ultimate band. And I was like, weird, but okay. And I at first I thought it was going to be like, we're going to search out the biggest and the brightest, like the best. But I'm glad it didn't go that way, because that I don't feel like would work for this type of show.
What is this, a show?
I like that there was a rivalry.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Like I felt like it was necessary.
Yeah.
I feel it probably could have been executed a little bit better, because he was thrown to the wayside for most of the story until they're like, we're blacklisted from all the labels because AG's a little bitch.
I hate you. I want you to fail.
Yeah. So
they could have really focused a little more on him, because when he came back into the story, I was like, what is this, the guy from the beginning who just said, I quit? I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay.
They could have done, I think that, and I guess as we continue some of the plots, I feel like some of them could have been handled much better.
Yeah, I wish they focused more on AG just a little bit, because the only times you really see him are when he's like breaking up, and then when he's talking with Tyra to try and get him into his band, and then at closer to the end where it actually becomes like, oh, the Grateful Sound performances. But other than that, there's like very little from AG in this show, and I felt like it was kind of a mute point, like it didn't really matter. But we'll continue on that in a bit. And Koyuki's like, ah, shit, dude. Now I could play the guitar. Like, I want to learn guitar. And Ryusuke's like, here, take this guitar. And then he plays a little bit of it. And
then he breaks it like a fucking idiot.
He does.
Who would put it on the bridge, bro?
Well, he also like wrote a letter to his cousin. I don't know why that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I don't know. Like, he wrote to him twice and that was it. But, like, and then his thing breaks, and then Ryusuke's like, I'm upset because
you broke the guitar I gave you.
Yeah.
Even though it's yours.
Because it was a guitar that he thought was the guitar that Eddie Lee gave him when they were like playing in a band together, and he was like, I'm upset because you broke this guitar that meant a lot to me.
Look, the fact that he gave it away to somebody obviously means that, like, I don't know, I feel like when you're gifting something to somebody, you know, it's kind of out of your hands. I mean, you can be kind of bummed it's broken, but you can't just be like, I'm leaving you on red, boy.
Yeah.
That was a little dumb for me. So, like, the first initial episodes, kind of sleepers for me. Cause
the first like 2 to 3 episodes are a real struggle sometimes. Mm-hmm. So if you're having trouble at those first parts, don't worry. It does definitely get better. Mm-hmm. So then after that, Ryusuke has is making.
Hey, do you mind if I kill a mosquito real quick?
Go
cool,
kill
I'll be right back. You might hear me shattering my window. I'll be back.
I hope he shatters this window.
Woo! Got him.
He did it.
Good job.
Look at him go. Is he back? Or did he just scream?
He's arguing with it. He's intimidating.
He's trying to reason with it. You can't reason with an insect.
Listen, I'm so sorry about that. Did you hear me?
I heard you go, woo!
Woo! Yeah, I killed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good for you.
It was bothering me for the entire episode.
No,
I was like, is that the gardener?
Motherfucker?
No, it's a flea. Sorry, continue. It was going to bother me. I had to. Okay.
It's all good. So anyway, they are making a band, and they have this drummer who's his name was Togo.
I forgot about him.
But then when they went to a when Ryusuke went to a performance with someone else, they were like, he was like, oh man, all these guys are really good except for the drummer. He was bringing them down.
Bruh.
Jamie,
which
please.
I didn't really hear, but I don't know. I'm not a percussionist, so I couldn't tell you one way or the other if that's.
He was
right
just
or wrong.
adequate, is the thing.
Yeah. So after that, they were like, he's like, I'm out of the band. But luckily, Koyuki was like, I made a friend at school, and his name is Saku.
Saku, what a king, dude.
And we're gonna be friends.
His introduction was godlike. I don't know.
Koyuki was getting bullied, and then Saku beat the shit out of him, so it was fine.
Dude, Saku? You mean Johnny Young?
Yeah, Johnny, a young Bosch. What a god.
I knew you were a musician. That was the best line. I was just
he's like, I knew you were in a band.
God, this man, cheeky.
Yeah, and then at that point, because we had Ryusuke, we had Koyuki, Saku, Taira, who we meet through, because he was in a different band that broke up, and he was like, he was deciding between Eiji's and Ryusuke's band, and he's like, there's just something about Ryusuke's band. I'm just feeling it.
Dude, he's following his gut.
Yeah, so he said, I'm following, and then Chiba, who's a rapper guy, and he yells a lot, and he's fun, because he gets upset sometimes.
he never got that money back, did he?
Yeah. He definitely did not.
He is the Beastie Boy.
Dude, the Beastie, man.
He'd be beastin'. So at that point, the band finally comes all together, and there's some little side plots about Koyuki accidentally like damaging a guitar and then getting blackmailed for it, and big guy getting upset, but then
yeah, he got bullied a lot.
Yeah,
he got pushed around like a fair bit too much, I think.
Yeah,
and you know what makes me?
I feel like
go ahead, you first.
I just feel like they could have sent that like message without the sheer amount of like sadness that this dude was in, you know?
Man, dude, this man was getting like bodied left and right with like life and the bullies. Oh my god.
He was getting his shit kicked in, and I'm like, why the fuck do you keep showing us
And you
this?
know what I hate but also enjoy? The fact that he acted like a stupid kid. He didn't tell nobody. He just kept it to himself. I both hated that and respected that, because a stupid kid would do that same thing. They would just not say a damn thing.
Yeah.
So props to you for making me upset, but props for you to making it feel real.
I don't know, man. I'm just like, come on,
too
guys.
much.
I feel like it also just carried on for too many episodes.
Yeah. Oh. It just like kept dragging on and kept it going, and I'm like, I get it.
I got a sigh of relief.
He's getting bullied.
I got a sigh of relief when he opened that like the New Year's card, and it was like, you will have rocky waters, but then everything will be clear or something like that. And I was like, thank God, we're gonna finally see the end of this stupid bully arc.
Jesus, dude.
God. Kids don't bully each other. Be freaking nice. God damn it. I'm trying to make it in this world.
For real.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to be real for a second there.
That's
no, you're fine. Like, I get it.
That's our motto.
Dude, kids suck.
Tiring. I was like, this is too much. And also we meet both Maho, who is Ryusuke's like half sister, and then we also meet Izumi, who is like the childhood crush. You know, the childhood friend that will always get shafted. And wow, look who got shafted, the childhood crush.
Damn.
Crazy how that works, right? Also, I know this is jumping ahead a little bit, but then they tried to add another girl to like the mix.
Hey.
And I'm like, what does this mean? What, like, for what purpose?
I'll defend her. She was cute, but yeah, that was kind
of
of weird.
I didn't get it, but I just, probably in the future, like in the manga, they probably did something more with her, but like regardless, I like, me no comprehende.
Yeah, dude. Hell, can't even speak the language.
Yeah, dude, I do not. We have some, and so during this time, we meet Mr. Saito, who becomes, Koyuki's mentor, I guess, you know, introduce him to British rock, you know. And there's this made up band called the Rocket Boys that he really loves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They even like recorded a fucking song and everything for it, so guess it was important for the show, but they introduce it and just have that stuff with them.
I don't know. I bet that was pretty exciting if you read the manga first and then saw the anime.
Yeah.
I bet it'd be pretty hyped to be like, dude, it's exactly how I thought it would sound.
Well, like I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like props to you for putting in that much effort.
That's a dedication to put it in, but I feel like maybe, like, I guess, I mean, you know what? I like it. I won't complain as much. Like, that's kind of cool of them to do that. Kind of unnecessary, but pretty cool.
And then we also meet Miss
Momoko.
Miss Momoko, who
bless
like,
Momoko.
I'm close to your age, so call me Momoko. And all the boys are like, sheesh. And
Dude,
I'm like, okay.
You could hear Pino as well. He's like, sheesh, all the way in the back.
You were in this show,
dude. Oh, dude, I showed up in the Rock Man, dude.
He was in the crowd.
Dude, when Momoko showed up, I remember that was like episode 6 or 8 or something. I was like, all right, I'm interested.
Yeah, so Momoko was fine.
She was adorable, dude. She was bullied by the kids.
She wasn't bullied. She was just sad that the kids wouldn't listen to her.
Fucking kids, man.
Dude, kids suck.
Kids suck,
they
guys.
Made her cry twice.
Rule number one of FAP, that kids suck.
Dude, kids suck. If you're a kid, kids couldn't be me, dude.
Couldn't be me, dude. I was never a kid.
Dude, I was always just an adult. Oh my god. Could you imagine, though?
So, yeah, so we meet the teachers, and those are kind of the two main adult figures that stick throughout. And we're like, wow, so now all the Beck members are trying to get it big and trying to play shows and develop their sound, and so they make songs and good stuff like that. Koyuki swims fast. Like that was a thing that he did.
It's just like kids trying to embarrass him, and
and then he's like, I was training, so it's fine.
While you were making fun of me, I studied the water.
Glug glug.
Still, I thought that was pretty cool. Just like him, like upshowing like the bullies and whatnot. It's hype.
It was pretty sick, but like it also did nothing.
Yeah.
Like sure, it was like it was cool like to see him like triumph, but also we've already been seeing him triumph using like the guitar and writing music and learning the guitar and doing things like that. So like I felt like we already received that. Like, we received that, like, kind of
satisfaction of the growth.
Yeah, that satisfaction of them.
I will say,
through it.
I don't know if you guys felt the same, but I feel like every time they added these kind of like more slice of life here, just like more life scenarios, I feel like they weren't as interesting as like any time he was with the group or with the like practicing with Ryusuke or just having something to do with Beck. Like all the Beck storylines hit, but everything else was kind of like, could have maybe done less.
You're talking to the guy who's like exclusively like slice of life. Like slice of life is my shit, and this just didn't hit. There wasn't like it distracted too much from the story and didn't add anything to it, which is just like not great.
It's painful.
So it was meh. Didn't do nothing for me. So
did not get no satisfaction.
Yeah, I did not get. Dude, you want to go play pool later?
Dude, of course, dude. I gotta get the shivers out of me, dude. I'm nervous.
From before recording.
Whew, sheesh.
Sheesh, man. And we also meet the guitar Lucille, which is in the Japanese version, Prudence in the American version.
That's what it was called I was having a discussion with a friend. I was like, her name was Lucille. For some reason I said her name was Lucille, and he's like, I thought it was Prudence. I'm like, I don't know, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, no, Prudence was the English, and it was from the jazz. I don't think that's real. I'm pretty sure that's fake. But basically it's just I assume it's the reference is Dear Prudence by the Beatles. I assume that's what the references for that, I guess.
I feel like a lot of these went over my head because I'm not
song off of the White Album.
I'm not too well versed in music, despite me listening to music, as many of us
Beatles, are. On my Spotify rewind last year, the Beatles were my number one band.
So lame.
You need somebody, dude.
Hey, shush.
Ask for help.
Shush. No.
Well, you can't write to Ringo anymore. He's not accepting any more
fan
mail.
Dude, I didn't want to bring out the
love,
Ringo.
Peace and love. Marge, I received your letter and I hung up your painting.
Oh, that's awfully sweet. Dude, I wanted to see Ringo pick up trash. Didn't we see somebody? Dude, didn't we see one of them?
No, we saw John Lennon picking up trash. Which I saw John Lennon. I paused it and I'm like, that's fuck. And like the dub has like the stupid like this is what we sound like when we do our shitty Beatles accents. Hello, my name's John Lennon.
Hey, Beck, keep it up.
Oh, and there's a shitty like narrator that sounds like Ozzy.
Yeah,
Ozzy.
There's also like Freddie Mercury, and I think Jimi Hendrix was there.
Jimmy was there, yeah. Good old Jimmy.
I just want to real quick mention my favorite clip of Ozzy Osbourne, where his wife Sharon asks him, she's like, yes! "Are you sober right now?" And he's like,
it's so like legitimately, I know exactly what you're talking. and he's like blubbering for like 5 seconds, and it is like it's during an interview, and it's so fucking funny.
No, Sharon asked him.
No, wait, am I thinking of a different one?
Maybe we might have to look it up.
There's one of him. There's one of him talking with Barbara Walters during an interview.
Oh no, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, you're right. I thought that was Sharon.
Because I know there was another one.
And so every time they made the fake Ozzy, this popped into my mind.
I remember. Yeah. I just waited for him to scream all aboard.
All aboard! Anyway, so that's a dream that like basically every member of the band has, except for Chiba. Yet, and so there's a little bit of division because Chiba's like, but I didn't have the dream.
Dude, he was like stressing about that. I felt bad for him, dude.
I feel like Chiba would be that character who would like literally be like, I'm feeling left out, and like this is not like good. Like, am I not part of this? So like, I get it.
And they even like kind of planted the seed a little bit before they went to Chiba's performance, like rapping. And like, I was legitimately worried. I was like, oh shoot, is Koyuki just gonna be the lead? Like, what's going on? Like, I like Chiba. Yep. Don't do this to me, bro. It's not.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they did keep Chiba in, because Chiba added something to the band. Like, and how everyone else said in the band, they were like, it isn't Beck without Chiba, and I'm like, you're right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So then, like, Koyuki also writes a song and does all this stuff. Accidentally brings in the wrong tape.
That was so funny.
And it's about cutting off his foreskin,
dude. And we dug that, dude. Into
it. It's a good song. Dude. Koyuki,
I don't know if I should cut off, if I should get circumcised.
Yeah, I was like, that is such an out of left field question, but then it also like comes back around with the song.
Oh,
so I'm like, that's good. I like that.
I had to pause the video. I was like, he didn't say what did he say that?
He did.
And then I watched it again. Amazing. Shout out to Mr. Saito. Ends up with the chick.
Yeah. So then they realize that Dying Breed is coming to Japan for a tour. And so Eddie comes to a concert, and also it's Eddie and the other dude, Matt Reed.
Yeah.
And they show up, and then they're like, wow, and then they drink together, and Matt Reed gets drunk, and he's like, you're the real deal, kid, and he's like, hey, you're cool, and he's like, wow, this is so cool. I talked to Eddie of Dying Breed.
Wow.
Which is still cool. And then they went to a concert, and so Eiji's band was initially supposed to like play with them, but then Matt Reed lit a guitar on fire and said, fuck you, you sucked ass.
Yo. That was so...
That was so raw, bro.
I was like, this is exactly how you disrespect a man's on stage, dude.
Dude, he said, come on stage, here's a flaming guitar because you sucked so bad.
I feel like that was his guitar, right? That he burned, just like the other guy, the redhead?
I don't know, man. Someone's guitar got burnt that night. Dude. It got on film. So... Jamie. So after that, we get some... after that, what's his nuts? Koyuki comes on stage and sings and makes it into the Dying Breed film that was being created for that time. He gets kind of famous at school. People are like, you were in the movie.
You're that kid. That's your movie, despite showing up for like 5 minutes.
That one clip they showed of it, I just didn't. I was like, "What? This is so goofy."
Oh yeah. Oh, it is so. It was black and white, and like all like super serious, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
And they found this one kid, and he was fucking epic.
This isn't Spinal Tap. What the fuck? So, Dying Breed does a concert, and then
that's all I have to say about that.
Huh?
That's all you have to say about that part. All right.
It's true. And then we also learn about Erica Blige's death, who was a soul singer who used to date Eddie for a while, so Ryusuke knew her, and they're like, she wouldn't kill herself, and they're like, is it the CIA? Which I'm like, I mean, there's a history, but we're not getting into that today.
Right. When they said CIA, I'm like,
I said,
wow, that's a out of the
like on the nose. Woo!
I'm like, damn, you really trying to reference everything.
Yeah. So after that, when they talk about it, and they're like, wow, we need to do it, and the Koyuki and Saku make a band with shithead.
Oh, the guy who looks like a 40-year-old man.
Who looks and acts like a 40-year-old pervert.
His voice is also just sounds old.
I didn't. He was just not good. I'm glad he did not show up often.
Yeah, same.
And then they played music, and they're like, I win best guitarist, and also I win best performance.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like and they're like, why does it look like a Grammy? And I don't know why that was the line, but it did. And then he's like, oh man, this kid who was blackmailing me and bullied me out of 100,000 yen. It's fine. It's fine.
I can smell that a mile away, dude. I feel like we all smelled that a mile away. He was just blackmailing him. It's like, don't make me tell him about breaking his guitar.
I did like, though, how it resolved with Chiba and the big dude fighting in the
bathroom,
in the stalls, and then he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I'm like, we're
blackmailing son of a bitch. What do you mean?
Yeah, using my good name, bam, and I'm like, hell yeah, fuck him up, bro.
Yeah,
world star. It was great. But it was really good. I thought it was good comeuppance, and I do like how the big guy comes like back later as like a fan and just like a pal.
That's my boy Koyuki.
It was great.
Oh man.
So they print out they make an album, they send it out, they don't get any royalties because they were idiots and didn't read their contract well enough, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then Koyuki's not doing good at school. Momoko was at a hostess club. He buys a Telecaster later. They're like the middle part. Like, while I still enjoyed it, there's a lot of things that really didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the school stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They do they talk about all of the guitars, and Koyuki's like, I need a guitar, and he's like, wow, look at this guitar.
I did like the guitar keep guys, like the
I loved him.
Great,
he was so good. He was the best secondary character out there.
Dude.
I loved him. He was big and didn't cut his hair.
Yeah, man. That was painful though. It was like he wasn't gonna cut his hair until he got like his first album and whatnot.
Well, it's real,
And I felt the pain. He would go to to a guitar and just play the shit out of it in the store, and I was like, he's hurting. He's just like playing it to just release some of that stress. I was like, oh man,
he's a good character, and he didn't need to be there a long time, and they kind of did everything they could with him, and I appreciated that.
And that's all they needed to do, and it was great.
Yeah. And even some of the friendships, like you mentioned, with the new chick who did all the gymnastics and like stuff, like I appreciated the development, just having a new friend and a new character there. But again, didn't really go anywhere at that point. Like,
yeah,
it was kind of there, appreciated, but probably could have been executed a lot better.
Yeah. So it was kind of meh at those points, but then we get back to like them selling albums, and they're like, oh, we need to make another album because
we ain't making shit.
We're not getting money. We're fucking poor as fuck.
She was like, whose fault is that?
Yeah, exactly. They play at the Marquee, which is a big, venue for these types of bands, and then the dude's like, fuck, they're good as hell. We gotta make them do night shows. And then we see and then we meet Leon Sykes, who had been threatening both Ryusuke and Eddie Lee because they have Lucille, which is technically his uncle's like guitar because the uncle's like father was like the famous blues player who was like got shot at during the performance, and that's why there's 7 bullet holes. So he's like, I'm gonna fucking rip you for all it's worth. And and he was also like, damn, this is because like the second album had pictures of him playing Lucille, and they're like, wow, that's sus. And then he gets got, and then a freaking helicopter, and then it picks up Ryusuke and Beck and kidnaps them. Sykes, who meet
Leon.
What?
Leon Sykes.
Yeah, Leon takes them, and then they meet John Lee Davis. What's his name? And then they do a little jam session, and then he's like, don't kill him. And then he gets returned and beaten. And he's like, guys, I'm sorry. And then we meet Kazuo Sato, who is the lady who's like, I have this gig. It's called Grateful Sound. Come play it. And then the rest of the show is them preparing and playing and the aftermath. And the stakes are that if they draw a bigger crowd than the other 2 stages, they're clean and they don't have to like do anything. But if they lose, the next 5 albums that they make are
the property of Mr. Leon Sykes.
Yeah, under Leon's label. They get no royalties. They get nothing, basically. So he's like, well, we're either going to disband or fucking die trying. Oh, yeah. So
the stakes were really high there. I was like really surprised that like
I liked it.
We had the darker side of whatever like underworld kind of not monopoly, but company kind of based things happened there. And it was like heavily, it was implied that Leon was the one who killed.
Yes. He's like, I kill for money.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, like it didn't hit me until the end, but I was like, this man killed Mary. This is Miss Blige. What the heck?
Yeah, crazy,
scary man.
So it was, good stakes, and then at this point, this is where Chiba's like, I didn't have the dream. I want out, and there's like a whole fallout, and everyone getting their jitters and big things, and then finally, whenever there's whatchamacallit? Ooh. Then they're like, okay, we gotta go play now, and they do a big scene, but it's raining. Oh no. So everything gets rained out. Malcolm, who's like the rapper, who is the boyfriend of the lady who got killed, was there, and then the Triblu or whatever the fuck French bullshit
it's
name
French.
AG's band was, and they're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, so I didn't see them much as a rival band. That felt really forced, especially with that actor friend there.
That's the thing. It was just like, it didn't feel like it was a huge thing. So
it was just stupid. I hated that storyline too. Just the side plot of like, oh, who's Maho gonna pick? Does she like Koyuki?
Oh, that was so fucking stupid. We all know who the fuck she was gonna pick.
Of course, it's Beck.
And they already had, like, they used the whole competition thing anyway later with the deal with Leon that you just talked about. So, like...
They didn't need an extra, like, reason to get all these crowds of people. It would have just worked fine with, like, yeah, you're royally screwed, or you saved yourself, instead of just, like, you're royally screwed, or you just lose your girl.
Yeah.
Yep. So, then... Through the power of acoustic guitar, Koyuki brings it back, and then everyone gets back together, and they all start playing. They're like, wow, this is like great, and then they play bigger than anything else, and it was a good scene. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this last like 6 episode spin. It's good shit.
That's what I call an underdog story, baby. That was great.
It was, and then they all sing, and I was like, wow, this is a fun episode. And then after they finish, they're like, this is the last performance, and Koyuki and Maho finally fucking start dating, and everyone moves on with their lives, basically, which I really enjoyed. How 25 was so melancholic and just like, was like, oh man. this really is our last performance, and like everyone's doing their own things now. Like Chiba's working at the ramen shop, and Tyra's like in a new band already, and Saku's moving away. So like I really thought it was like a really solid, kind of like somber note, and then but obviously, and also Ryusuke's gone. He just left, and we're like, we can't find him. But little did we know he was in America. He was hitting in America.
Oh, whoa!
So, and then, because, of course, Koyuki would try to get back together, they were getting them back together, and they're like, this isn't Beck without Ryusuke. And Sato, the lady's like, hey,
this isn't Beck without Ryusuke, it's just Ek.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, America tour. And they're like, ah, shit, dude, we love America. We always want to hit in America. So they do the tour, and the end, which I felt because I know I think you guys had like reservations on the ending. I liked how they, even though it is literally a slideshow, like it's literally a slideshow. I really liked how the last like half of the last episode was framed as like
recollection.
Yeah, as Koyuki showing Maho, like, the pictures from their tour. And, like, I felt like those interactions felt really real. And I felt like the pictures, they weren't a pristine image. They were kind of blurry, kind of a little jank here and there. Like, I really enjoyed it as, like, the ending. And then they're like, oh, we met with Ryusuke, and then we played as a band.
I felt that the last episode was just kind of a bonus.
Yeah.
Where they wrapped everything up in the second to last episode, and that's the one that really hits hard. But, and then whenever I was like, oh, there's still another episode, cool. I was like, oh, cool, it's like a little bonus.
Yeah, it's a little extra.
I do share a little bit of the sentiments with the whole bonus episode with Garb, but I don't know. Despite it being a nice sentiment of just sharing the moment and the pictures, I don't know. I feel like I kind of expected just a little bit more, just to get the whole band together instead of just having them say, oh yeah, and we met Ryusuke halfway through the tour and explain the situation. Well, I mean, it worked, but I feel like I was left wanting a little more.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like as it's only a third of the manga, I bet there was probably a little bit more that they could have done. But
a friend of mine actually recommended after finishing just to read the last couple of chapters because they do elaborate on some things and go into more specifics on the tour and whatnot. So might be something worth to check out.
I'll probably just read the whole thing, honestly. I got time. But I absolutely do see like the feeling of it being a bonus episode, because like I would be totally content with this show ending at episode 25.
Heck yeah.
I feel like it like met the match, but with it, with this next episode, it didn't make it worse. It was just a different vibe.
The completionist
So, that was the show. How'd you guys feel?
I liked it. It was a slow burn, but I liked it at the end.
Yeah.
But you know what?
You?
Ooh. Oh, sorry, Garb. What about you?
What do I know? What do you know? Oh, bless you.
Oh, I see. He's allergic.
That's what I think.
Dang.
I'm allergic to good shows. It hurts. Help. I can only watch trash.
Dang.
Oh.
We gotta cleanse our we gotta cleanse the palate sometime,
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I didn't even realize it was Madhouse coming in, which I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because that may have set expectations too high.
I just found out this episode.
Yeah, exactly. Like, me too. And so, it was great.
Yeah.
I think what lends to it being good is, like, the characters. Like, some of the characters just really hit.
There's also just, like, a lot of really candid pieces in there. Well, I used that word earlier in proper meaning, but what I mean is that some of the pieces later on, like, they drop some really accurate nuggets of wisdom or what have you. Like there's the one bit where there's the kid who's in the shop. He was like, I wanted the pedal, the one that the Pink Floyd uses.
that was very funny.
I loved it.
And he was like, well, do you know, you don't even know the name of the pedal? How do you know you're gonna need it if you don't even know what it's called? And he's like, I don't even know who this pink guy is.
The pink man is.
And there was another part where he was talking about certain kind of player, like musical player, who is just doing the motions and is just putting their fingers in the right spot, and they don't really have the soul of it. And it's like when people bitch about Black Album, Metallica, and later, like that's what they're talking about.
Wow.
But yeah, I just there were a lot of little nuggets on that. I was like, wow, yeah, that's real. Whereas, you know, like to compare it to K-On! Like I did earlier, where you just got an idiot savant. It's like, no, you actually get to see these kids like really have to practice, and it's nice to really see that fully explored. And I can vouch to a lot of that accurateness. Is that a word?
Yes, it is now. Yeah. I accept.
Or accuracy, perhaps?
In the dictionary. Okay, fine.
Accuracy, schmaccuracy.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's a good show.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, now that we were talking about characters, how about we talk about characters?
Hell yeah, baby.
Let's first talk about Koyuki.
Hell yeah, baby.
The main character. What'd you guys feel about him?
He's square as can be, but he's a good boy.
He is a square.
He's a square. He used to be smart, now he's music smart. I like it.
And now he's dumb. Now he dropped out of college.
I like when she was like, poor boy, this man's whipped. I said, yes, this man is totally whipped. My God. But he was innocent. I liked him. And the talent that he had, it was refreshing to have just a boring person just remain boring, but also secretly kind of cool.
Yeah. He's fun, you know. He's a good protagonist. Best role Greg Ayres ever did. What
do you mean? What about that guy in Haikyuu? You didn't like him in Haikyuu?
Was he in Haikyuu?
Yeah, he was a short guy with the little blonde tuft in the. He
was not.
He was one of those guys. He was one of the.
No, he was not.
He was one of the Karasuno boys.
Maybe
I think you're fucking
I'll look
lying
it up, dude.
to me.
I'll look it up.
I'm looking it up. I don't fucking trust you.
Dub voice.
Nope.
Actors.
Nope.
You sure he's not in this? He's not in the dub?
Oh, he is. Who is he? Oh, he's you? Why is he you?
I told you. He's the guy with a little tuft.
Dub sucks ass, bro.
Dude,
IQ sub all the way.
Nah, dude.
IQ sub only, guys.
When I hear this man's voice, I just love it. I don't know. Anyways, that was our little side thing. What were we talking about?
But yeah, he's bland, but he gets the job done. I feel like he's interesting enough. Yeah,
he's a good boy.
He's good boy. Let's talk about Saku next then.
Yes, Saku.
Boy,
he's the king.
The Brock of this anime.
Dude, this man, he was ready to throw fists at any moment.
He did throw fists.
Dude. This man dodged motions and just like he took punches too. I was like, "Jeez, man, this guy."
Hey, he's not gonna fall.
He's a ride or die, dude. He's your homie for life.
He's going.
Yeah, man. Really felt bad when he couldn't swim, and he's like, "I understand why." Like Koyuki can do all this because he's been practicing with Mr. Saito for years. Like having that little, I love having those worlds kind of colliding in each episode, but that one really stood out to me the most. Just like him realizing Koyuki's like a hard ass worker. Like, geez.
Yeah.
But no, he's great. That guy's awesome.
He's fun. Next, Chiba. He loud, he proud, he kicks ass.
He's a funny man.
Does not share the same dream. He is the imposter.
But he did have the dream when he was on tour, and I was like, "That's nice." I'm glad they put that in.
Yeah.
It's like, and he was like, "The date was this because he keeps telling us," and he's like, "I'll never forget." So, I think it's fun. I really like it.
I'd like
he's
to hear
a fun
him
character too.
I wanted to hear him rap some more. He was pretty.
He was good. He was banging.
He was vibing, dude.
Thank you, Justin Cook. Very cool.
Thank you.
Anything else?
24 Typhoon.
Yeah,
that's it.
He's Yusuke Urameshi.
Yusuke Urameshi.
The Beastie.
Yeah.
Got him, dude.
That was no a cheap shot. Get that, but that just tickled me something fierce, man. Holy shit.
Hey, cool, Barney, your conscience. Didn't expect that.
I was only knocked out for a little bit, okay?
Even kittens won't recognize
you. So next. Guys, next let's talk about Tyra. Tyra's cool.
He's cool.
He's sick. He probably got like the least amount of like development, but he was just so sick. He didn't need much development. He was just cool.
He'd take off his shirt. That's all we needed.
He's very kind.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like just like a guy that I'd like to be friends with, you know?
Same.
He just seems like a chill dude, and like I love that.
Mm-hmm. Good man.
Good dude. He did it. Not really much else to say about Tyra.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk about Ryusuke. He was there.
Yeah.
Served his role, kind of a dipshit.
He's a king too. He was just like when Koyuki walks in on him and he's already done the deed with
oh my you gotta go now.
He's like, it's your time to go. I was like, what a king.
Damn,
he knows
bro.
his priorities, dude. Oh my gosh.
It's very funny. It means you have to go. Man.
Dude, Eric delivered that guy really well. I think that was great.
Yeah, no, I really liked Eric Vale's performance. Super good.
I was gonna say, like, come on, he's future Trunks, my man.
He is future Trunks. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's talk about Maho, who is Ryusuke's younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
She's fun. She's a good singer herself. But, you know.
I was getting sick of Maho halfway through the series. I don't know, bro. Like, she was cool. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. Nice little love interest. But I guess, I don't know, maybe there just wasn't enough time to develop her in the series.
They teased it for too long and didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, like, she's the love interest. There was a moment where she was jealous with the friend, and then after that, she kind of just disappears. I'm just like, what's the point? Like, are you gonna... Like, I guess you're the motivating factor in this man's development, but like when you disappear for a while,
I felt like she worked well enough, but there's, they still could have definitely done a lot more.
Yeah, I don't know. At the end of it, I was like, Maho, I'm glad you're here, but just let me watch my boy Koyuki, man. Just get out. I don't know, but she's chill, just
vibing.
Yeah.
And then I guess we'll talk about Izumi. There's just, she was the childhood friend, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And she said, bye, bitch.
Really thought they were going somewhere with her, set up in episode 1. Nope.
And then they said, bye. We're gonna give the whole backstory on her, but we don't give a shit.
Yeah, man.
Like, I guess Mr. Saito, he was fun. A little bit pervy, but like once you get to know him, like they said in the anime, not a bad guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
He was fun. Cool dude. And then I guess Miss Momoko, I guess, will be the last, because that's really the only other super truly relevant, unless we want to talk about like Leon. But
dude, let's just talk about Leon. Leon's evil. I
Leon's evil, period.
I hate him, but I like how his character developed. I liked the change of pace he brought to the table.
Love a good villain. A good, well-written, just like rounded villain.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, and I don't even, I guess you could call him that. He's an antagonist, not so much a villain.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's just evil.
I like it. Well, no, he wasn't just evil. Like,
I don't know. He seemed to kind of... He kills people.
Yeah. He whacks them.
I don't know who he killed.
Well, he sent his bodyguard to kill him. To silence people.
They were killing rapists. That's fine.
No.
That's fine. Yeah, you can pay to kill rapists. That's fine.
Well,
that should be legal as far as I'm concerned.
Not in this anime.
Not in this anime.
No?
Until you give me hard proof, there will be none.
Yeah, you're probably right, but
anyway,
hypothetically.
And then Momoko, she was fun, but also not really a presence in the show beyond like the 2 episodes.
I like that she ended up with Mr. Saito. That was kind of out of the blue, but I liked it.
Yeah, it didn't feel out of character for anyone.
Yeah,
you know?
I shipped them. I shipped them hard.
Well, good, because they're real.
Just open up your door. There they are.
Wow.
They're telling me I have to go swimming. I'll be back.
You have to go dip in the pool.
You're not getting out of the water until you perfect your backstroke.
Perfected. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's all the characters. Small cast, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. They expanded them out as it went on.
Yeah.
There started to be a lot more.
There's
Those
just
are
not a
main
lot
boys.
of people who are main, like, focuses. Like, who the fuck gives a shit about Eiji? We talked about him, like, twice, and that's his whole character.
True. I just want to finish rating this series, you know? I really want to let the world know my rating.
Well, they're gonna have to wait a little bit.
What?
Rating scrating.
Welcome to the 83rd edition of Who's the Best Girl, the part of the podcast where each contestant put forth their choice for Best Girl of the episode and duke it out for title of Best Girl. Today our contestants, once again, Pino, Garb, and myself. Patreon didn't watch this week. So that's it. Who are we each advocating for?
Damn.
That's not a joke, it's real.
It's not a joke, it's real. Damn, I don't remember who I picked. So
I'm changing mine. I picked Tanabe.
Who's Tanabe?
The teacher.
Oh,
teacher man.
Which one?
Is that not? Am I stupid?
Mr. Tanabe?
Could be.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Saito?
Is that it?
Which teacher? Because there's Momo.
Oh, I meant the teacher, the pool teacher guy.
Oh, yeah, that's Mr. Saito.
Mr. Saito, I'm stupid.
What did you say? Who's Tanabe?
Tanabe. I don't know.
Who's Tanabe?
He's someone.
No, Tanabe's the fucking 40-year-old child, man.
That's his last name. So Tanabe Saito.
No! Tanabe's the 40-year-old, like, best friend at the beginning.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, why the fuck did you pick him?
I picked that. I said the wrong thing because I'm.
The music's already done. Pino, who'd you pick?
Oh, damn. I picked, oh, God. There are so many excellent characters in this show. I want to just take a moment to carefully decide. I'm picking Momoko.
Okay, and I picked Tyra. Wow, that was so difficult for everyone involved.
It was. I actually liked the main cast. I just picked Tana because she's a teacher. I mean, Momoko because she's a teacher.
Guys.
I'll start. She's a teacher.
This is the one section of this show that makes our podcast unique, and we fucking botched it.
Hey, man.
No, we always botch it. What do you mean?
That's great. I know I love it.
No, fucking, you know what? Momoko's back and she was hitting on a fucking 12-year-old, basically. He was 14.
That's a little sus.
You got me there.
Kind of cringe, Chief.
You got me there. I'll switch to cheap.
No, you can't change now. No! You're stuck. You made your bed. Now fucking take a nap.
I'll see you at the end of the season.
I'll see you in court.
Hey, I'm no student. No, she was cool. She likes music. She just wanted to be a good teacher, and I hated every time they made her cry. It hurt me.
There was a lot of time that she cried.
Yeah, man. She cried on the first day. She cried after they all left. She cried on graduation, which makes sense. She cried during the performance when nobody could sing the song. She was in pain, in constant sorrow. But no, I think she was great. Once she got fired, that was cool. And then she started getting confident. I don't think she got fired, right? They just like kicked her out, and then she tried to, find her way because she lost her way, of course.
Don't lose your way.
And then Mr. Saito was just like, I am here to save the day. And then they ended up together. But in this scenario, Mr. Saito didn't exist. I held her up.
Yeah.
No, in this scenario, I had him.
You had Mr. Saito. I see how it is. So we essentially split up the only logically sound and great couple for our sole selfishness. I love it. But yeah, no, Momoko's great.
I don't know, Momoko kind of bland, but you know who isn't bland?
Who?
Ira.
Well, soap isn't bland either, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna eat it.
No one told you to eat soap, you fucking freak.
Well, nobody's gonna stop me, dude.
What the hell does that? What does that mean? So is soap? What?
You said bland. You called her bland.
I didn't call soap bland.
No, that's what I said. Is that soap isn't bland, but you shouldn't eat soap.
We weren't talking about soap being bland.
Well.
You're gonna fucking forfeit your right to enter a conversation for the rest of this fucking episode, bro. Tyler's cool because on his on the wiki page, under his personality, the first line is the best bass player ever. Ha ha. And he's sick. He plays the bass. The bass is super underrated. He's so cool. And he's very fun, and he's very kind, and he has a very nice voice. Thank you, Jerry Jewell.
Yeah, but
the bass is underrated.
Tara get the least screen time.
Yeah, because he didn't need it. Because every time he was on, he was a little ray of sunshine, and he was super nice, and he was like, "Hey,
too cool."
And it was cool. Like, "Hey, if you want to go out, now's the time." And he's like, "Nah, that's not my time to go out. This is his time." And I'm like, damn, dude. Yeah. It is Ryusuke's. It's not Ryusuke's. It's fucking dumb little stupid baby Koyuki's time. And I'm like, that's right.
That's fair.
That's right. You're cool as hell, dude.
He knows when to hit it, and he knows when to quit it. You're right.
That's right.
Solid choice.
He's sick.
Oh, give him a tissue.
Garb, what's your dumb choice?
I already forgot his name.
Mr.
Again.
Saito.
Mr. Saito. He's great, man. He can teach me things. I clearly am in desperate need.
You clearly need education. Jesus Christ.
Hey, don't we all?
Education has failed us.
Study.
Study.
He's great, man. He's probably got a pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's also got a whole box of smut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can share. That'd be great.
I was expecting for his story to be like he doesn't actually have a job, but he's like helping to pay off the guitar because he's nice or something.
No,
but
man.
I guess he does have a job.
Yeah.
He's got, yeah.
I thought they were going to develop more about that because he was like, I need a job at the beginning. And kind of didn't see that afterwards.
I don't know, man.
He's also built like
He is built.
He's dummy thick, so
he's built like a truck, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, awesome. You know what? I have no arguments except
I don't know. He's kind of a little perv.
He could also calm down a little bit.
He's a little bit of a sex pervert.
I mean, he's been neglected. No, I'm just kidding.
But did he ever? Let's see. Did he ever? Was he ever making comments towards anyone? I don't recall. He might have.
He got distracted underwater looking at an underage girl's legs.
Okay, that's a little fun.
I'm pretty sure it was just a swimming technique. No, I'm just kidding. That was a little sus.
Anyway, if you want to tell us about how literally 2 of the 3 people in this show picked weirdos who go after minors. Our email is funkyanimePodcast@gmail.com. Kinda yikes, guys.
Damn. You really had to go there. You could have just ended the segment normally, bro.
Damn.
Guys.
I'll see you at the end of the season review, bro.
Or
we
at
end up picking Beck.
Podcast.com. Go check out the website. We don't got any emails today, but that's fine.
Perfect.
It's okay.
Because I'm tired.
Hey, you picked the show with the weirdos.
Yeah, it's true. You picked it.
But I did not pick.
You recommended it to people,
dude. You recommended it.
Well, I didn't know the contents of said show.
I know, and that's why you're at fault.
Exactly.
That's why I'm tonight's biggest loser,
dude. Chuck didn't research his anime before finding out they're weirdos, making him tonight's big loser.
Making him tonight's biggest loser,
dude.
So, any final thoughts before we go into stuff? Miscellaneous or
no?
Yeah,
fine.
I think that about covers it. I managed to sneak in all the like funny bits I wanted to cover.
Yeah.
I think I did too.
Yeah, nothing bad. Guys, this was an anime.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who wants to do it first? Who wants to review?
Sure, I'll go.
Rank. Okay.
This anime started off really, really rough for me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Bit of a sleeper for the first 3, maybe even the first 6, possibly even the first 8, maybe the first 10. I think I only got invested around 13, episode 13 or something like that. And I feel like if after that, it all eventually does pay off because all those random instances do eventually come back around and, close up the stories where it needs to close up on. I definitely do recommend watching this. It is very unique. It is very old. And it's got a great soundtrack. So,
yeah.
If anything, if you're able to withstand the first couple of episodes being very, very hit or miss, then you've got yourself a pretty interesting and very unique series here. I'm giving this one a 3.7 out of 3.7 out of 5. Yeah. I like
that's how the rankings normally work.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
it'd be weird if we changed it now.
I mean, what if I gave it a triangle star and a frowny face out of 2?
I would be really upset about it.
Well, that's my new rating.
Well, I'm not putting it down.
This isn't Pop Team Epic. You can't just make random noises.
I get a free pass. I didn't get to do one of those funny ratings like you.
I can't fucking type out wingdings and expect it to average.
Okay, fine. 3.7. I loved it. And if anything, listen to the music, guys. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. Watch the opening. It's a banger.
Mm-hmm. Who's next?
Oh,
I'm gonna give it a 4.20.
Damn.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's blazing it, dude.
That's comedy.
Yeah.
That's
anyway.
guys, that's comedy.
I didn't even know I was being funny with my rating.
You weren't.
Good, because I wasn't expecting it.
It was aggressively not funny.
I wasn't trying to be funny. I was giving it a real rating. I was just struggling at finding the number 5. Anyways, tell us why you gave it that rating, unless you just want to give it that rating.
I figured it was about a B+.
Amen. Okay.
And that's about it. It's a good show. I'd recommend it. You can watch it. It's good.
It's good.
Jojo.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I had some good enjoyment, especially when I kind of like chilled out and just let it play out. So I think a solid 4. Mm-hmm. I like, it didn't blow me away, but also like there's some really solid parts to it that like I can't ignore. And I thought it was a fun show and I would recommend. So glad I have been recommending it to people because now I can recommend it with authority.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only way people will listen now. I mean, what? Oh no! Oh no! We're ending the podcast now.
Hey, before we end the podcast, what are we watching next, Pino?
Shoot, I actually don't know. I feel like it's a show. I feel like I swapped this one around a lot. Let's scroll back up. Let's see here.
You can also make a choice on the spot right now if you don't like the one you have listed.
I've never seen it, so we might as well. It's going to be another blind box.
I'm going to hate it then.
I've never seen this before in my entire life.
I don't know if I'm going to.
It's Medica Box. Don't get it confused, Garb, with Megalobox on Netflix. Not that one. We don't want a grand blue scenario going on here. This is Medica Box. If you don't see a blue-haired girl, you're watching the wrong one.
This one there's no Shoten Ketsu, right?
No, there's only 13 episodes if I remember correctly.
To be fair, when we were watching fucking Noragami, there were only 2 things, and you fucked that up somehow. So, I don't know, man. And are we watching both seasons, I assume?
There's 2 seasons? What the hell?
Yes.
What?
Each has 12 episodes, so it's not bad.
Fudge. I don't know. I was hoping we picked just like a...
Well, it's either... Let's just watch it all.
Fine, we'll watch it all. Fine, Jesus Christ.
I don't want to have to return back to a show.
I got you.
Unless it's Haikyuu.
But what if they make a 3rd season?
Wait, so
just kidding. No anime was ever in
just
the 3rd
kidding.
season.
Fake news. Anyway.
So Medica Box and then Medica Box Abnormal, I guess that's what it is?
Oh, fucking, so there's Shoten Ketsu.
Yeah, so as long as you have the short title, that's the first season. And if it's the long title, that's the 2nd season.
I'm gonna watch it wrong on purpose.
I'm going to accidentally watch it wrong. Anyways, we're watching that. I've never heard of it, so we'll see. Maybe it's a Pino show. The cover looks like it's a Pino show. I've never heard of it.
Title.
I've heard of the title, but I've never seen it.
You said you'd never heard of it.
Shoot, I can't hear. I'm not even wearing my glasses.
How do you pick it if you've never heard of it?
Look,
anyway,
I hate you all.
Guys,
put his glasses
this has
on,
been
fine.
This has been the Funky Anime Podcast. I can't believe it. This has been a fucking train wreck. The guy who's about to go the fuck to sleep to maybe get another dream. Well, that's me. I'm Chuck. I'm tired.
He's snoozing. Look at him.
The one who's just going to very loudly practice his guitar, so I can't sleep. Well, that's Garb.
Wow, he was ready.
See, that's a real guitar. And also, Pino. He's here. He's still lying about that dream. I don't know why. But...
Yo, and then Darth Vader showed up, and he's like, "Let us jam, brother." And I said, "Oh my god, let's go, dude!" And then I ended up playing the triangle.
Ding. Anyway, thank you for listening to Funky Anime Podcast. We have been the 3 Weebros. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure to follow us on social media at 3 Weebros on Twitter. Check out our Patreon if you really liked us at 3 Weebros there. Check out our website at funkyanimetopodcast.com, and, for the rest, just fucking... Yeah! That's it.
All right.
Tell me I'm your lover.
Dude.
And that's it.
All right, let's hit in America, boys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang,
Rock and roll.
Bye.